As humans, we all know that one day we'll age. Our skin becomes wrinkled, our hair turns gray, and our bodies just don't move the way they used to. But why does this happen? What causes our bodies to age instead of just staying young forever? Well, something called telomeres is the answer. Before we can dive into what telomeres actually are, we need to first understand what DNA is. DNA is like a set of instructions inside every cell in your body. These instructions are responsible for telling your cells how to grow, how to function, and how to stay alive. You can think of DNA as a recipe book or blueprint that your body uses every day. DNA is stored inside structures called chromosomes, which are essentially just tightly packed strands of DNA found in each cell. Your body is constantly making new cells in a process called cell division. The process of cells dividing essentially looks like this. One cell splits into two new cells that are exactly identical to each other. Your cells divide for many reasons, such as helping your body grow, replacing old or damaged cells, and even healing something like a paper cut. When a cell divides, the new cell also needs to have the same set of instructions as their parent cell. In order to do this, the cell must also make a copy of its own DNA as well. However, this copying process isn't perfect. When DNA is copied, not every single part of it is copied correctly, meaning that a small piece is lost each time. This isn't ideal because it means that important information gets lost from cell to cell. That's where telomeres come in. They act as a protective cap at the ends of chromosomes, similar to how the plastic tips at the ends of your sneakers protect the laces from fraying. In the same way, telomeres help protect the ends of DNA from damage during cell division. However, each time your cells divide, these telomeres also get a little bit shorter. At first, this isn't a problem. Your cells can still function normally with the DNA they have, but over time, after too many divisions, the telomeres become very short. When the telomeres become too short, the cell can no longer divide properly. Instead, the cell either stops working or dies completely. This is one of the major reasons why our bodies age over time. It simply isn't possible for our cells to keep dividing and rejuvenating our bodies forever, which is why no human lives forever. As time goes on, more and more of our cells stop working properly, and our tissues don't repair themselves as they used to. This can lead to things like wrinkles, slower healing, and overall changes in how our bodies function as we get older. However, sometimes cells don't behave the way they're supposed to. Instead of stopping when their telomeres get too short, some cells can find ways to keep dividing. In other words, these cells can bypass the normal limits that most healthy cells follow. When this happens, cells begin to divide rapidly and uncontrollably, which can lead to diseases such as cancer. Cancer happens because abnormal cells grow and divide out of hand. This is why scientists study telomeres, because they're closely related to the effects of aging on our bodies and what happens when cells don't function normally as they should. Understanding telomeres helps us better understand how our bodies change over time and how diseases develop. While telomeres are only one part of a much bigger picture, learning about them can help researchers develop better ways to study, detect, and treat diseases related to aging and cancer. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and remember, the next time you think about aging, just know that it all starts at the cellular level, with something just as small as your DNA.